Hello, and welcome to Say It Naturally. If you've ever felt unsure about your pronunciation or hesitant about using your voice in English, you're in the right place. I'm Jenny. I'm an English pronunciation and neurolanguage coach. And in this podcast, I share insights, reflections, and simple ideas to help you feel more at ease, more confident, and more natural when you speak. And if you're a teacher, I'll also be sharing occasional teacher's notes you can take into your classroom. I'm really glad you're here. Before we begin, if you found that an aspect of this podcast supports you in some way, please follow, like, and even share it with someone who might find it helpful as well. Thank you. Today, I'd like to share some small rituals, if you like, to support your voice, your energy, and your mindset, both before and after speaking in English. Because speaking English, whether you're teaching English or communicating in English or any other language than your mother tongue, it uses both mental and physical energy. And this can affect our confidence and our clarity. However, when we set up a small preparation, a small routine before speaking, this can help reduce tension. Our breath, our posture, and our vocal awareness helps support much clearer communication. Something that you could do is take a short moment, maybe 20 seconds, to just focus on your breath. This could be taking slightly longer breaths and letting out slightly slower. Any kind of breathing that helps you relax. Breathing in and counting to 4, and breathing out and counting to 4 or 6. And you can make those breaths longer or shorter depending on what feels comfortable for you. You can also hum. Humming is a great way to warm up our vocal cords. And again, you can do this for 20 seconds or so. Another thing that you could do is relaxing, consciously relaxing your jaw and your shoulders. Give your jaw a little wriggle, re relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Again, being conscious and mindful of releasing that tension. Another idea could be to set an intention for the next bit of communication. What do you want to come from this? Are you hoping to create a new friend? Are you hoping to get some information? Are you hoping to start building a relationship with someone that you might work with in the future? It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just something to focus on and have as a goal for your interaction. One thing that some people find helpful is to say your opening sentence out loud before you go into the situation. This can be to give yourself that chance to say something clearly and fluently and set yourself up with confidence to start with. This isn't for everyone, but choose one or two of these activities and just try them out. See what feels good for you and ignore the rest. After we've finished speaking, we can also feel a bit of tension or pressure. And so we can take a short moment to just release that pressure when we've finished speaking. And this can help support our well-being, and it prevents that feeling of tiredness or fatigue after speaking a second language. So the first thing you can do when you finish is just exhale, release that tension. This can be a really nice way to let your body know that you've done it, you're finished. Second thing is drink some water. Make sure you are hydrated. Sometimes when we're so focused on a communication, we become less aware of our bodily needs, and just drinking a little bit of water can help our bodies feel better. And the last suggestion I'd like to make for after you've finished speaking is to think back over the conversation and identify one success that you had. This could be as small as speaking in that language. It could be as simple as understanding what the other person said. It could be that you reached your goal. You have got the information that you wanted from that communication or that conversation. Our routines don't need to be complicated to be effective. We can make them really simple, and actually, small habits that we can repeat are much more sustainable than really long routines or long practices. When we look after our voice and our energy, our confidence and our performance over time constantly improves. And this applies whether you are learning, teaching, or using English at work. And if you are a teacher, here's something you can take into your classroom. We often focus on what we teach, but we don't always think about the energy we bring into the learning space. Your voice, your breathing, and your presence all influence the atmosphere around you. When you're feeling rushed, tense, or exhausted, this can affect not only your own communication, but also how your learners respond. Simple routines beforehand can help you arrive more grounded. This might be taking a few moments before a lesson to breathe, relax your shoulders, or just become aware of your voice before you start speaking. You can also create small moments of reset during or after your lessons. This can be as small as a pause, a breath, or a moment of quiet reflection, which can support both you and your learners. Looking after your own energy is not separate from being a good teacher. It is part of creating a sustainable and supportive learning environment. When you care for your own voice, you also model the importance of self-awareness and well-being for your learners. So the key thing to remember is this: your voice is connected to your well-being. When you support your breathing, your energy, and your mindset, communication becomes easier and more natural. You don't need complicated routines or big changes. Small moments of awareness, repeated consistently, can create meaningful shifts in how you speak, teach, and connect with others. And when we create more space for ourselves, we can begin to notice something else: the thoughts and beliefs we carry about our own voices. Sometimes the biggest challenge in speaking English isn't a lack of ability, but the stories we tell ourselves about how we should sound. In the next episode, we'll explore one of the most common beliefs I hear from learners and teachers, and why letting go of this idea can help you communicate with more confidence. If this episode has resonated with you, you might like to follow the podcast or share it with someone who could benefit from hearing it as well. Thank you. Thank you for listening today. I hope something in this episode gave you a little more ease or a new way of thinking about your voice. And if you'd like more support with your own pronunciation or confidence, you can find me at excellenceinenglisheducation.com. I work with learners and teachers who want to feel more comfortable and natural in their spoken English. There'll be a new episode of Say It Naturally next week. and I'd love for you to join me again. Until then, take care of yourself and your voice.